These patterns only need to go about halfway down. This stuff is super fine. It's actually abrasive glass beads for sandblasting. Super fine kind though. That's why I don't use a coating, because I find if I use this stuff, I don't need a coating. As you can see, I've used it before. Yeah, polystyrene vapor gets into the sand. But this part all down here is just to kind of form a base. I'm going to start setting up the patterns on anyway. So that doesn't really... I don't really want these lumps at the top though. Alright, got this guy here. Things I've got to be concerned about is getting this filled under here. And then there's the eyes and stuff. You don't want them not to fill. So the way I'm going to do it is just kind of smush it down in there. I'm kind of just pressing it down a little down in there. You don't want it to move too much. Ideally you want to vibrate it a lot more than that. I just got this guy ready just as a, you know, fancy ingot basically. This part's important because you want your metal to stay on top of the foam. Squeeze it in between these two. A little extra sand around the outside of it keeps it from leaking underneath. And it also puts extra weight on the foam. Keep it from trying to float in the sand. And there we go. We have 2 molds in 1 bucket for lost foam casting. And then propane tank. That's not right. That's better. You can see it. It's lit. It's just preheating on propane right now. It's pretty hot standing this close. I don't like my phone being this close. So that's that. Yes? It's definitely reached what I would call pouring temperature if this is a sand mold. But because it's a lost foam, I gotta heat it up a little extra. Alright, stirred in some flux, so it's gonna be an easy quick skim. It's a hot furnace. Not sure where this metal here came from. I hope it didn't swim up from down below, because that would be a problem. Why did it come from the vent? The vent was right there. Now let's see what we got here. I think he might have come out pretty good. Oh. What do we have here? I think we got a good one. Well, again, we'll have to brush it off and be sure. Well, I'm soaked. This looks like a keeper. What do you think? It definitely skulls, right? You can see their skulls. I give it that much. So, you can see that black coating from the glitter. It scrubs off. Well, I do have one thing to say about the glitter skulls. They make it kind of hard to see if you got a good foamy or not. This guy's nose is kind of messed up. It's mold lined right down the middle of his face. It's weird. I wonder if I could... Yeah, that still makes me think I could like cut one in half and sand cast a few of these. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself there. Yeah, that works. But it's hard to tell what you get when you use the glittered foamies. I already did this guy. And you can see these guys don't really have mouths. I was thinking that, I mean, there's the very slightest hint of some teeth. You can see, I don't know how well they show up in the video. But I kind of wish you could see teeth on these guys a little better. I thought that the teeth were just kind of blocked out by the glitter and that they'd be there on the foamies, but I guess not. I don't think the glitter prevented existing teeth from showing up, because well, I can show you a few other glitter foamies I've cast that the details did come out great. This guy had the glitter, and you can see all the details came out great. You can see the injection point for the mold they made the styrofoam in. See all the teeth, pretty much perfect. The next step is to cut the slot through here for the belt to attach to. Although, after seeing how this whole straw filled right through the bend, come up and flowed through this much, and the only reason it stopped was I stopped pouring, I'm thinking I could have got away with cutting it in the foam. The reason I don't is because, just from trial and error, I've never had one fail to fill when I did it this way. When I tried to cast the slot into it, I had very minimal success. But I'm not sure. That was a couple years ago, and I don't know if I if I gave it as much superheat as I did to this. Next time I do it, I'm going to try one where it's cut as thin as I want it and has the slot. Because if I can fill this through a drinking straw, I can fill this through, 2 drinking straws worth. In theory, anyway. But this way, it's reliable. It's more forgiving. Anyhow, what do you think? I think it looks pretty cool, other than the whole teeth thing, but I could make a better one if I had better skulls. But you could make anything. You could carve your own design, whatever, in a piece of the pink or blue foam. You can use a Dremel with a router attachment and some carbide cutter bits to do some interesting things with styrofoam. Don't use sanding drums. Tip, the styrofoam will melt and form a bead on the drum. Maybe if I plugged it in. This ought to be thick enough to get 3 layers of belt through that space. Let's make a little dimple there. You can drill a pilot hole. Kind of a little jig I made for these a couple years ago before I had a drill press. I think I'm going to try and drill these holes in the drill press though this time. Maybe if I plugged it in. Alright, so I just eyeballed it, used a straight edge to make a little line there. Not bad. Well, I didn't get all the way through, but I got a lot less hacksawing to do, so call it a win. So, we almost have a belt buckle now. Hot. So I managed to cut most of the way through there. Getting close. I think I can bang that out of there. Wow, look at that. Busted. I thought the whole thing would bend over. There we go. Into the ingot bucket. So, here it is. Got this done so far. Time to cut out the extra metal here. I got my Dremel with a little cut off wheel on it. Time for a new disc. So we're all the way through here, and we're most of the way through there. I think I can pop this out of here pretty easily now. And we're just about there. Alright. It's looking pretty good. It's reasonable. Now, I don't know if you can see the lettering. It did sort of come out. I'm hoping I can bring it out a little more by with a little filing, sanding, or whatever it might take. Can you read it yet? Almost. I can kind of make it out. Looks like it kind of worked. Problem is, when I pour it as hot as I did, it picks up every grain of my sand instead of being a little smoother. So it's kind of, I'm able to get these, you know, the thin straw to fill up so much, but the finish isn't quite as good. But I'll take a full mold over a shinier half empty one any day. I'm done filing the back of this. I can sand it a bit later. See if I can do with these edges. I'm probably going to use the belt sander to clean the edges up because I can. Just to show you, you don't have to have one. You know, you could do all this with files, I guess. Yeah. To the belt sander. Maybe if I plug it in. Just see there's still a little bit of that crack from where the border was glued on. Just trying to grind it out without getting in too close to here. I'll do the other sides too. Well, that's unfortunate. I have to stay away from the middle. Well, I think I nicked his chin a little right here, but no big deal. looking pretty good. So I decided to just kind of use the Dremel on the edges of it too, so it would match this a little more. I didn't want to try and, you know, make this video even longer, showing me sanding and sanding and sanding to make it like shiny like a mirror or anything like that, because I kind of like the way that this just sanded a little bit looks on the front of it. It goes good with these skulls, which I'm still going to shine them up just a little bit more too, and not just be super clean looking. You know, this way maybe maybe someone just dug it up out of the graveyard, who knows. I do want to point out that those impressions that I pressed into the foam pattern did come out on the casting. You can see 2017 Topo Mutt, which is kind of cool. Alright, I think that's most of the sanding done, but I will do a little more. Just got a little piece of 220. I'm going to try and take off any of the texture, just brighten it up a little bit. Yeah, kind of like that. Just a little bit shinier, but still kind of dark and dirty looking. All right. All right. And you know what? I'm going to call that done. This is as good as it's going to get. I think any more work I put into making it shiny would just take away from the spookiness factor. It's not laziness. Alright, so that's how you do it. Lost foam, cast, belt buckle, all one piece, solid cast aluminum. You can build the pattern easily with just, you know, hand tools, knives and sandpaper, or you can use, you know, sanding machines and things like that, like I did a little bit. You can spend as much time shining up and sanding the finished belt buckle as you want, or you can spend as little time as you want, or, you know, somewhere in between. I hope I hope some other people will try this. I'd love to see what you can come up with. You know, as the ones I've done before, these two, I've just taken slices off those little, you know, baseball-sized styrofoam skulls to use as it. I do some little more interesting this time, where I had to cut some pieces apart and glue them back together instead of just cutting them. It's kind of fun. You know, not quite as much fun as green sand casting, but you know, just for kicks, for Halloween. Yeah, it's kind of fun. You know, I kind of look forward to doing some lost foam castings every Halloween, so this has been a good time, and I had never really done a good how-to on how I do these buckles before, so it turned out pretty good, I think. And yeah, well, thanks for watching, and I hope you like the videos.